Hello everybody, and welcome back to another stream. Sorry about the delay. Of course, Microsoft Flight Sim was causing me issues. It seems like the iFly plugin had crashed, so of course the aircraft was not usable, but we've reloaded. We are looking good now, so Stan, thank you very much for keeping everyone updated. I really appreciate that. And so yeah, we are in Microsoft Flight Sim today. It's been quite a while, but since X-Plane is playing up at the minute for me, as you guys know, we'll be in Microsoft Flight Sim. We are taking a look at the brand new Singapore scenery from TaiModels. Now this scenery is currently for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and 2024. We'll be checking out in 2020. And then I believe it's coming for X-Plane 12 later down the line as well, so excited for that. So we'll say hello to everyone here then. Hey Stan, welcome. SimCrashFly297, welcome my friend. Alrighty, so we'll get going here. We are in the iFly 737 MAX, and as you can see, there's an aircraft up there. Yeah, so we are, there's a PIA 777, that's very loud. But yeah, we are here at Kuala Lumpur. Hopefully the sounds are okay, guys. We'll head inside the cockpit, it's very loud. Yeah, so we are at Kuala Lumpur. We'll be flying down, it's a real flight. We're Singaporean 103 today down to Singapore, and then we'll be doing the return sector as well. So we can take a look at the routing here. So of course, subject to change from same tensions. We are using same tensions for our ATC today. But we're going to be departing runway 14 left on the RISB2 Alpha departure out of Kuala Lumpur. And then we're going to be heading down here to the south east, down towards Singapore then. And we'll be on the Tebu 1 Bravo arrival for the ILS 20 right. We should get a nice view of the city over here. But yeah, then we will be onto the ILS 20 right, and we can taxi it back. And then we'll turn around and head back to Kuala Lumpur. That's the plan today. So, alright, I think we are pretty much ready to go. I did already get ground services and stuff going, so we can go straight up here, get the battery on, emergency exit lights armed, and we'll go ground power, and the aircraft comes to life. Will you do a walk around the airport? I saw the trailer, it looks amazing. I will, yes, I will do. There's some really cool features, and now I do have the cloud surf scenery as well for Singapore, which is another payware scenery. That's good, it's not bad. It's slightly on the older side now. I think some of it is a little bit outdated, but I compared it with TaiModels as soon as I got access, and the TaiModels is far high quality, and I'll show you guys and point some stuff out later on, but it's really good. Hey N1, welcome. Alright, so the elec pumps can come on. We'll get the packs auto. And let's do our pressurization. So we are climbing flight level 250 today, and we are using Rex Atmos today. You might be able to tell. Rex Atmos looking great. We've got some custom NVIDIA filters as well going. So Microsoft Flight Sim looking really nice. I'm really enjoying Microsoft Flight Sim at the minute, to be honest. It's a lot of fun. So 250 set. Let's head back here and do our tests. It lasts a little bit longer than maybe it should, but that's fine. And Mac airspeed tests. Alright, flight recorder. That's fine. Where's the click spot? There it is. Alright. Nav on the ADIS. And we'll test leading edge devices. Alright. Good. That looks good to me. Alright, so A couple more tests here then. So we can test that, and some final tests down here. We will fire tests. Good, and cargo fire. Brilliant. Alright, good. I am going to get some lighting on. I really like having the panel lighting up in the 737. So we'll get the panel lighting up. Just like that. Okay. So, let's go to performance, payload, weight balance, and let's see today. So, we are taking 161 passengers today. Cargo, we are taking 3.9, so we'll split that evenly. So that is 19.5 each. So do 1950 on either. There we are. And then fuel, we're taking 5128. So 5128. The taxi out fuel is 191, and the trip is 1914. Right, so we'll set the fuel, set payload, and we are complete then. And we can initialize the flight as well, and we can confirm we have the fuel on board. Brilliant. Good stuff. Next, go down to the FMC, and you know what I really like on the iFly? I really like the reflections on the FMC. I think they look great. So FMC, we're on the latest air rack. We are at Whiskey Mike Kilo Kilo, and we'll set the IRAS position from GPS left today. There it goes. We'll go route, and we can request a flight plan. And we'll give it a second here. There it is, we'll load it. Good, alright, so we'll activate, execute that. We're on runway 14 left today. And we're Singaporean 103. So we'll put that in there. Alright. Let's get the fuel pumps on. And then we're going to get the APU going. And let's get our IFR clearance then. So, let's get our ATIS actually first. So, ATIS is 12645. So, 12645. And then we'll listen to that.
Right, 33. Departing runways 32 right, 32 left. 33. Advise on initial contact. You have information Oscar.
So that's information Oscar.
Kuala Lumpur International Airport. Information Oscar. 1900 Zulu. Wind 360 at 3. Visibility 6. Sky conditions. View at 3,000 feet. Temperature 25. Dew point 24. QNH 1007. Density altitude 1400 feet. Transition level 120. Arriving runways 32 right, 33. Departing runways 32 right, 32 left, 33. Advise on initial contact. You have information Oscar.
Okay, so I think we're going to get a runway change here. We planned for 14 left, but there is a tailwind. So let's see what they clear us for. I think it's gonna get we're gonna get changed here, but that's fine, not to worry. Let me just check what stand we're on. Stand Charlie 14. Okay. Let's see. So it's Lumpur delivery, right? Lumpur delivery, Singaporean 103, stand to Charlie 14, information Oscar on board, aircraft type Boeing 737-800, correction Boeing 737 MAX-8, And we would like IFR clearance to Singapore, please. Forgot we're in a max there for a second.
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
Alright, so it'll take a second. That's not our clearance, that's someone else.
After departure, fly radar vectors to Victor Mike Kilo, then is filed, departure runway 32 right, initial climb to 4,000 feet, departure on 135.25, squawk 1532, Lima Papa 49 Bravo.
Right, well, should be coming up now.
Singapore 103, Lumper clearance, information Oscar is current. Cleared to Singapore via the RUSB 1 Foxtrot departure, then as filed, departure runway 33, initial climb to 8,000, departure on 135.25, squawk 6356.
Cleared to Singapore via the RUSB 1 Foxtrot departure, then as filed, departure runway 33, initial climb 8,000, departure 135.25, squawk 6356, Singaporean 103. Good, alright, so, we did get the change.
Singapore
So,
103, read back correct. Contact ground on 122.15.
ground on 122.15, Singaporean 103. Alright, so, we are changing runway to 33. And we are changing to the RUSB 1 Foxtrot, so this one. And that works just fine. That looks good. We have a long taxi here. But that's fine, that's not an issue. So, we will then clear to 8,000. And then it was departure 135.25, so I'll put that here so I remember it. And that's 135.25. Right, 135.25 is there. And then ground is 122.15, so let's put that in. As we don't need to talk to clearance now, we can go straight to ground. So 15, and then just so we are prepared, we'll get tower, which is 1198.
Departure frequency, red cap 228.
So 1198 is our tower frequency. We'll get that in the standby slot, ready to go. All right.
Frequency, red cap 228.
And then we're squawking 6356, just like that. Alright, so I think we are going good here. Let's finish our flight plan. So, departing 33 on the RUS 1 Foxtrot. There it is. Insert that, and then the arrival is going to be, although I think this might get changed when we get there as well, but we'll see. We're looking for the ILS 20 right hand on the tube. Where is it? Tube 1 Bravo. Just like that. Check for any discos. There is a disco there, and I flew this route earlier, so I know we can just match it up like that. Perfect. And alright, so we are cruising flight level 250. Wind is 090 at 8. The ISODEV is positive 17. Oh, positive 17. Reserve is 2.4 today. And this should populate just like that. Now, zero fuel weight is a little bit higher than what SimBrief says. But that's not a problem. We have plenty of fuel and RTO on the auto brake. So let's do our performance calculations then. We'll go over on the APU bleed and the APU gen. So, performance and payload. Takeoff, copy the FMC data. And this all looks fine. Flaps, there's going to be flaps 5. Aircon will be on. Anti-ice off. CG, why does it not know our CG?
Air ISA 127, contact departure on 135.25.
Looks like our CG is about 20, 23. It looks like. I don't know why that's not populating, but looks like it's around 23. Alright, actually we can find out if we go here. Oh no, never mind. Alright. Anyway, what is it gonna give us? So, takeoff, selected temp 50. So, selected temp of 50 gives us 82.3, and we have 82.4, that's close enough. Flap 5, and then 137, 38, 50, and these are all close enough, so that's fine. As long as they're within 1 knot, we're good to go. And alright, so runway heading is for 33 is 326. So let's put that in. 326, V2 is 150. And they are good. Perfect. So LNAV, VNAV, and I think we are pretty much good to go. So we have a Pugen, that's fine. Let's get rid of the everything. So we go system, sim menu, and ground support, and we will disconnect everything here. Right, don't remember to set that. We'll get GSX and prepare for push. And we'll do aero direct. So we don't have anything in the center fuel tank, so they'll stay off today. Window heats can come on. Trim air is on. Anti-ice is not required. Isolation valve to auto.
Hello, Captain.
Lights.
We are ready for pushback.
And see what signs. Alright. I think we are good to go here. We'll let them connect and then we'll get our push and start clearance. Good.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Lumpur ground, Singaporean 103 at Charlie 14. Request push and start.
Singapore 103, push and start approved, face southeast.
Push and start approved, face southeast. Singaporean 103. Alright, so they're saying face, what is it, southeast, okay. Interesting. Oh, okay, I see what they're doing. Alright, good. So, southeast is nose left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Alright, so anti-collision light is on. Release the parking brake. Nothing around us. Oh, chocks. There we are.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright, so let's get the packs off and we'll start number 1 first. Now, you're going to see that the N2 is going to rise and about 20% is going to motor, which is a difference between the NG and the 737 MAX. There it is, it's motoring. So we're not going to add fuel, we're going to let it motor. And once it finishes motoring, you'll disappear, and we're above 25% N2, we'll add the fuel. So this could take could take up to 2 minutes. I think it's done. There it is. 25% N2, so we'll add the fuel.
Please set parking brake.
And we'll set the parking brake.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
In the unlikely event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the panel.
And we'll just tell them good engine start, save some time.
You can disconnect. Unlocking gear.
Over your nose and mouth, securing it with the elastic band. Remember to secure your own mask.
I'll tell you, the iFly 737 has fantastic sounds. Really, really good.
In the event of a water landing, remove the vest from its pouch, place it over your head, and pull the straps around your waist to secure it.
Okay, so we'll let the EGT stabilize. Oh yes, those sounds. Lovely. Alright, and we'll start number 2. I have no idea what this pushback is, but sure. There was no GSX profile for this airport that I could find, so it's fine, we'll make do.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
So number 2 is motoring at the minute. And there's 25%, we'll add the fuel. I don't know why all of these are shut. Let's do flat 5. Brilliant. Alright. Good, flap 5 is set for the takeoff. And we'll let number 2 stabilize. Okay. They'll stabilize, so they'll both go to continuous. We'll put them on the gens. And APU can go off. Packs back on, probe heats on. Good. Alright, so let's get, let's see here. Let's get our taxi clearance. Why are we on Lumpur Tower? Oh. 12215. Yeah, we're on there. Interesting. The ground frequency here is picking up as a tower frequency, alright. Anyway, shouldn't be an issue. Lumpur ground, Singapore 103, request taxi, runway 33.
Singapore 103, taxi to runway 33 via Sierra 8, Sierra 1, Foxtrot, Delta 1, Charlie 1, Papa 1, Quebec 5, Uniform 5, Zulu 4, Yankee, Yankee 9er.
Taxi to runway 33 via Sierra 8, Sierra 1, Foxtrot, Delta 1, Charlie 1, Papa 1, Quebec 5, Uniform 5, Zulu 4, Yankee, Yankee 9, Singaporean 103. Alright, well that was a long taxi instruction. Let's take a look at what they gave us here. So Sierra 8, Sierra 1, Foxtrot I don't see. Yeah, oh, Foxtrot, so I guess SA Foxtrot, and then Delta 1, Charlie 1, Papa 1, Quebec 5, Uniform 5 all the way down, Zulu 4, then Yankee, and then Yankee 9, okay. So pretty much up here, left, all the way down. Alright, exactly as I would expect. Alright, so get our lights on. I will make this turn. So let me know what you guys think about the about Microsoft Flight Sim content on the channel. That beautiful cargo looks 747. I think that's a 400. All right. So this is a freeware Kuala Lumpur scenery. It's not bad. I believe it's a light version of a payware that the same developer did. And let me know how sounds are for you guys. As you can see, we've got quite a fair way to taxi. Sounds great, brilliant. Very glad to hear. So yeah, X-Plane, as you guys know, for me, is playing up a little bit at the moment. It is currently setting textures to minimum all the time because of the VRAM leak I seem to have on it in the latest beta. So the last few days I've almost exclusively been on Microsoft Flight Sim, bar one test flight I have done on X-Plane, and you know what, I'm actually really enjoying it. It's super smooth. Tobii eye tracker works like a dream. Mainly been flying the PMDG 737, 777, and this today actually. It's been a while since I flew the Max, so I did a test sector earlier today. But yeah, really happy with it at the minute. I have Rex Atmos running as well, so clouds and in general the atmosphere looks great, and then the video filters as well. So we're going to try and keep the taxi speed up here, obviously max 30 knots, so we're doing 28, 29 there. But yeah, the only thing with Microsoft Flight Sim is the default airports are pretty bad. So you always need some sort of add-on, to be honest. This one isn't too bad. The ground textures, as you can see, are pretty much default. So not fantastic, but not too bad either. Better than default, that's for sure. Alright, so there's a runway here, but it's not active, so we'll cross it. We'll get the strobes on though while we cross the runway. Brilliant, very smooth. I'm glad. Yeah, Microsoft Flight Sim in general is smoother for me.
4, right.
Nice RAS. So look at these buildings here, they look pretty good. Yeah, Microsoft Flight Sim is, it doesn't really stutter as much for me. I don't have micro stutters. My FPS is generally more stable. So then when I use lossless scaling, it looks even smoother. I have lossless scaling on 3 times at the minute. And I'm getting 135 frames with lossless, and it looks brilliant. Of course, you guys on YouTube can only see up to 60. But I'm glad it all still looks nice and smooth. Bit of a longer taxi, but we'll get there. Hey, Random Flight Database. Welcome, my friend. How's it going? Very glad to have you here. Alright. Not too far to go, as you can see. We're going to head here to Yankee, and then it's all the way down, so... China, is it China Southern, isn't it? Or is it China Airline? It's just China Airline, I think. 777 there. Lovely. Look at that. Very cool. Alright, and we're going to take the second left here. We'll be parallel to the runway. So I was watching a bunch of Flight Deck 2 Sim streams and videos last night to really get myself a bit more knowledgeable on the 737, and in particular the differences. He's done a fantastic video on the differences between the 737 NG and the MAX. Of course, he is a real world training captain, so this is Master Flight Sim 2020, yes, 2020, with Rex, Atmos and NVIDIA filters. Yeah, I think Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 is looking great, in my opinion. We are live weather, but we're not live time today. I was wondering why my textures look so bad in X-Plane. It takes forever for them to load. Yes, yeah, I think you're having the same issue I'm having. I don't get stutters as much on the latest beta of X-Plane.
On taxiway. On taxiway.
Oh, we're a bit, we're a bit quick there. We'll slow down. Yeah, so I don't get stutters as such. It's just my VRAM is so high, it starts compressing all the other textures, and X-Plane of course will set your textures to low or minimum if you're getting VRAM issues, so hopefully Laminar fix it fairly soon. Yeah, Beta 4 was really good for me. Beta 4, the clouds look good as well and had great performance. Yes. Yeah, I think Beta 5 is, for about 70% of us, is not working out too well. I know some people are saying it's better for them, so that's good. Hopefully, I know Laminar were asking for weather dumps on their Discord to try and diagnose the issues, so they are fully aware of them all. Not too far to go. We are using Orbex Global Forest today, Global Trees I think it's called. So the trees look very nice. So we'll get the weather radar on here, we'll get the terrain radar on here, and we will get the VSD, there it is. Lovely. Good. I'm going to go right to the end here, use as much runway as we can. And I just realised I forgot the Fly Live stream bar at the top. Here we are, yeah, at Yankee 9. Alright, we'll stop here. And we'll go to the tower frequency. And we'll preset our departure frequency so we have it when we're in the air. There it is. Right, nope, we want that. Yep, okay. Recall. Nothing on recall. Right. I hope Beta 6 out this week. Yes, I hope so too, for sure. Lumpur Tower, Singaporean 103, fully ready, holding short runway 33.
Singapore 103, Lumpur Tower, runway 33, winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 33, Singaporean 103. Good, alright, so there's takeoff clearance. No one on the approach, and no one on the runway.
Singapore
So let's go.
103, runway 33 is your assigned departure runway. Winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Approaching. 3.
Runway 33 cleared for takeoff, Singaporean 103. Sometimes they mishear me. That's say intentions.
On runway 3.
Okay, runway 33 is confirmed. And so we'll go TARA on the transponder. We'll just zoom out a little bit here. And alright, I think we're good to go. So we'll spool them up 40%. %, stable, and toga. There's 82.6 set. Indications are normal. 80 knots, release forward pressure on the yoke. V1 and rotate. Pitch up 15 degrees. Positive rates, gear up. Trim. Reach for departure. Gear is up. Hope the AX comes to say, yeah, absolutely. It looks like it might be close. Aerospace AX.
Singapore 103, contact departure.
Contact departure, Singaporean 103. Alright, departure we go. Lumpur departure, Singaporean 103, climbing altitude 1,500 for 8,000. There's our acceleration speed, so pitch down, let the aircraft accelerate. Start the left turn. And we'll go flaps 1. Beautiful. Looks like that frequency is incorrect. There we are. Now we're on the correct frequency. Lumpur departures, Singaporean 103, climbing 3,500 for 8,000. And we'll go flaps up now.
Singapore 103, Lumpur departure, radar contact.
Alright. And we'll hand fly it for a little bit. Do you have any news regarding the 737 MAX from Airfoil Labs? I don't know, unfortunately. The latest news I have is just from whatever they post on the forum. So it looks like they're making good progress from what I've seen.
Singapore 103, Lumpur departure, climb flight level 230.
Climb flight level 230, Singaporean 103. Alright, and we can go to flight level 130. What was it? 230, I think, actually. Yeah, 230. So I'm just using my honeycomb driver here to increase altitude. I really want a wing MCP. That'd be so cool. But then I'd have to decide whether I want an Airbus or a Boeing one. So after takeoff check, saying gear is up, flaps are up, auto brake can go off. We'll level out here and sort our lights. Alright. Engine start, switch off, and taxi runway turn off can go off. How beautiful. And landing light can go off as well. Good. And we'll get the APU going there. Brilliant. Look at that. Lovely. XP comes to line in the last time. I like this.
Dear
Yeah.
guests, we are now above the safe altitude, and I'm pleased to inform you that the use of electronic devices is now
It does look
allowed.
good, doesn't it?
Feel free to connect to our onboard Wi-Fi service as well. If you need anything, just let one of our crew members know.
That announcement is from Saint Intentions, by the way. Really, really like Saint Intentions. Lovely. There's Kuala Lumpur. Quite a big airport, actually.
Singapore
set standard.
103, climb flight level 250.
Climb flight level 250, Singapore and 103. Alright. Yeah, the Honeycomb Bravo just works out the box, the autopilot stuff.
Singapore 103, descend flight level 250.
Negative climbing flight level 250, Singapore and 103. It heard me say for some reason down flight level 250, or when I didn't
Singapore
say that.
103, climb flight level 250.
There it is. Climb flight level 250, Singapore and 103. Yes, you got to speak real clear to it. It's a pretty short flight today. We are pretty much following the coast along, almost, down to Singapore. I have actually been to Singapore, Kuala Lumpur and Phuket, actually, in real life. This was in 2012, so I don't remember a whole lot, but definitely a very nice place, all three locations. Lovely, alright. We are climbing nicely. Things are looking good.
Singapore 103, contact Lumpur radar on 132.75.
Lumpur radar 132.75, Singapore in 103. Alright, let's go to that frequency then, 132.75. Lumpur radar, Singapore in 103, climbing flight level 1694, flight level 250. Good, alright, and 250 is our cruise altitude as well. Good.
Singapore 103, Lumpur radar identified. Good afternoon.
Yeah, very happy with how X-Plane is looking. Sorry, Microsoft Flight Sim. Super smooth. And yeah, this iFly 737 MAX is very good. In my opinion, it is better than the PMDG. The PMDG still has some weird quirks, like the engines spool up way too quick. As you know, with these turbofan engines, from a low N1, they don't spool up particularly quick, hence why we that's why we go to 40% M1, we let the engine stabilize and then we go to Toga. Otherwise, if you went straight to Toga from idle thrust, one engine could spool up quicker than the other, and you'll get a massive imbalance of thrust and therefore a yaw action. So that's why we go up to 40% first, or 50% in an Airbus. But yeah, in this it's actually quite good. Of course, the exact timings I can't speak for. I haven't flown a 737 in real life, but I can tell you that BMDG is definitely way too quick. But yeah, if you do want to know more about the 737 in general and the differences, do go check out Flight Deck 2 Sim's videos and streams, because he is, as you know, a real world type-rated training captain on the 737 and the MAX, so definitely knows his stuff. Yeah, really happy with this so far. Now, I do plan to stream tomorrow or Wednesday again, but it will most likely, unless we get a new beta for X-Plane, most likely we will be in Microsoft Flight Sim. So do let me know what you want me to fly and where. We can hop in the Phoenix, the PMDG, either the 777 or the 737. The Unibuild's A300, I do have that as well. So yeah, remember we are doing 2 sectors hopefully, if we have time. Lovely, yeah, as you can see we are just following the coast. You can see here, pretty much. Following the coast, we do go out a little bit here, but we should get a nice view of Singapore. Unfortunately the city isn't modelled particularly well at the minute. I don't think there's any photogrammetry, and I don't think Singapore as a city has been included in any of the custom world or city updates yet, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because Singapore is a beautiful, beautiful city. So there's our cruise altitude then. And our top of descent isn't too far, about 80-ish nautical miles away. 100, there we are, 100 track miles, so not too far.
Singapore 103, Lumper radar. I'll start your descent in about 15 minutes.
Roger, Singapore 103. So yeah, there you can see, it's only going to be about a 15-minute cruise today. I expect we'll be down in about half an hour. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen,
What time is it? In the sim, it is 4:54 UTC. And yeah, so in about 40 minutes, thereabouts, we should be on the ground, ready for our turnaround.
please sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight as we make our way to Singapore.
These clouds with Rex Atmos do look pretty good, I think. The biggest issue with the default Microsoft Flight Sim clouds were they were quite grey. They weren't particularly white. They were really dark, but Rex Atmos does fix that. And this is a custom preset I made by myself. It is available for the community. If you do search my name, just DrishalMAC2 on Rex Atmos, you should be able to find it in the community preset area. Lovely. yeah, so TaiModels did provide the channel with a copy of Singapore to stream and review. So I do really appreciate that. And it does look good. Like I said, I compared it to the existing payware Singapore from CloudSurf, which is currently available. That one I actually was given to review as well, so completely equal. Both I was given to review, but I do think the TaiModels scenery is more up to date, and it does look better in my opinion as well. Performance for me was about the same. I didn't see any major difference, but I do think the TaiModels version looks better, and I think in particular some of the terminal areas, and especially inside the famous glass dome for the indoor sort of garden, does look much better with the TaiModels in my opinion. A lot of more work has gone into that. It is more expensive though, so that is to keep in mind. It is more expensive. I believe if you put exclamation ARR in the chat, you should get a link. The link is also in the description. It's available exclusively on the InnyBuild store. I think it's £22 if I remember right. Thank you, Stan. Really appreciate that. And yeah, looking forward to the BAE 146 release from Just Flight for X-Plane 12. Our good friend Kuwait Pilot streamed it on Sunday, and it really does look very good. And I heard the pricing. Existing X-Plane 11 customers do get a 40% discount, but the base price is something like £30. That's British pounds, so 35-ish US dollars, which is incredibly cheap. And if you have the X-Plane 11 version and you get the discount, you're looking at, you know, $20-25. The pricing is incredibly fair. So that will definitely be something to purchase, and we'll stream that as well. I mean, for that price, for what is actually quite a high quality aircraft, can't go wrong. I have the BAE 146. I don't know if I should get the one for X-Plane as well. Yeah, I mean, do you have the X-Plane 11 version or the Microsoft Flight Sim version? Actually, both look really good. I was tempted to get the Microsoft Flight Sim variant as well as the X-Plane version. But you know, yeah, so you will get a hefty discount. You'll get the 40% off, so I think it'll only be about $20 for you, Simplify, to upgrade. Which, I mean, if you're going to fly, I would say it's probably worth it. But of course, that's only if you are going to fly the aircraft. So, let's prepare a little bit for this arrival then. So, let's get the ILS frequency in. ILS frequency is 108.9.
Singapore 103, whenever you'd like to send flight level 180.
Descend flight level 180, Singapore 103. Right, that's quite early. We're still about 50 miles out, so we won't descend just yet. So, ILS frequency is 108.9. You know what, before, because I do think we're going to get a runway change here. Let me just check with ATC. Lumpur radar, Singapore 103. Can you confirm the runway and arrival at Singapore, please? Let's see what they say.
Runway 2 center, ILS approach.
Runway 2 center for the ILS, Singapore 103. So, we are expecting the runway 2 center approach.
Singapore 103, you were cleared for the ILS approach to runway 2 center at WSS. Please confirm your approach clearance.
Yeah, we don't want that yet. The setting tension is being a bit strange. Right, so to center is what we're on now, and we'll be on the ILS 20. Okay, I don't know what arrival we should expect. Hey, Rano, welcome. So this is the Boeing 737 MAX 8 from iFly in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. As you can see. If you put exclamation aircraft in chat, you will get a link straight to the purchase page for it. Alright, so I'm going to change our departure arrival here. So we are now doing ILS 02 center on the Turbot 1 Alpha. And alright. Top of descent is still there. Alright. Is it coming 2024? It is, Rano. I believe they're not too far away from 2024 support, actually. So do keep your eye out on that. It is coming to 2024. Okay, so new ILS frequency then. We're now on the ILS 1083. So 1083, 1083, and if we look here, the missed approach is climb to 3000, heading 023, outbound on the VTK VOR, radial 023 to nylon. So that's 023, distance 13. So, what we can do is the VTK VOR is 1165. So we'll keep that in standby. I really don't like the Microsoft Flight Sim camera when it does this. And then, so that's pretty much there and ready. We need our course for 023, which is for the ILS. That VOI is just there, just in case we need it for the go-around. And then what we can do is we can go here to fix, and we'll do runway 02 center. And we'll do, so 023 plus 180 is 203 at 10. So this is for the approach. And then we'll do VTK. And this will be 02313. Which is for our missed approach. Good. Alright. And it looks like it wants us to start our descent. So we missed that. And we'll clear to descend to 180. So we'll go and we'll put some speed brake out to help us, since we missed the top of descent there. Okay, so that's done. Alright, performance. So show landing, copy FMC data. Condition is dry. Wind is, I don't know why it's in meters per second, but it's variable at 1, so we'll leave it at that. 27 degrees. QNH 1007. Flap 30, aircon on, anti-ice off, brakes, auto brake 1. Okay, alright. And we'll put that in. I have a question. In Airbus, when I set a fix, I can set up a dashed line in addition to the radial circles. It's possible to do that in Boeing. Yeah, so as you can see, if I go to fix, this dashed line here is from this fix, radial 203, which is this one, and 10. So the 10 is giving me this circle here, the smaller one, and then this is the radial 203. Like a straight line which line runway. Yes, so that's exactly what I've done here. What I've done is the course is 023. So your radial inbound is going to be that plus 180 degrees. So I did that plus 180 degrees, gives me 203, gives me this dash line, and then the 10 gives me the 10 nautical mile ring around the runway. Here's how you do it. Very similar to Airbus. I'm not sure why we're not descending. Let's go into level change. Right. So yeah, looking at the missed approach. So we'll climb 3000 heading 023, which we will have set when we're on final, and then we can just follow the FMC, and we have all the VOR set up. The ILS minima is 216, so let's actually get that in. Uh, 216, so that's going to take a while, isn't it? And we will be doing the return sector as well, back to Kuala Lumpur. Right, 216, come on. Two 216. And we'll go down to 10. There it is. All right. And we'll contact Singapore approach. Singapore approach, Singapore in 103 on the Tebu 1 Alpha arrival for the ILS 02 Center, descending flight level 169 for flight level 100.
Contact tower on 18.25. Singapore 103, Singapore approach identified. Good afternoon.
Brilliant. Local QNH was 1007, which flight level, the transition is flight level 130, so we'll leave that for now. Everything else here looks good. And if we just plan our where we're going to vacate here. So we're landing 02 center. I think what we'll do is we'll vacate either here at Tango 5 or Tango 4, and then we can go to one of these gates over here.
Singapore 82, Singapore approach, roger, QNH 088.
Alright. Coming up on transition altitude, so we'll switch to local QNH, which is 1007. And we're coming back onto the VNAV profile here, so that's good. Yeah, we'll go VNAV speed now. And VNAV path. Brilliant. Hopefully we should get further descent clearance. Let's sync our heading, just in case they give us vectors. Perfect. And we'll get our lights on at this stage as well. Lovely. Singapore is just over there behind that cloud. Now the ATC earlier was a bit strange here, so hopefully they give us further descent. There's a disco there, but we can fix that. And we'll start the speed brakes. Now charts say we should be at 220, so we'll keep it at 220. Singapore approach, Singaporean 103, request further descent.
Turn off all electronic devices and stow them until we arrive at the gate. Kindly put your tray
Singapore 103, go ahead with your request.
in their full upright position and
Request further descent, Singaporean 103.
provide you with information regarding your connecting flights. Thank you for your cooperation. Crew, please check that everyone is
Singapore 103, descend altitude 8,000 feet, QNH 1007.
Descend altitude 8000, QNH 1007. Singaporean 103. Alright. Come on, you know you want to descend. There it goes. I don't want to get high. Beautiful. No. Open that blind. So we have two fixed rings here. The first one, so this one, is for 10 nautical miles away from the runway threshold, and this one is 13 miles of the VTK VOR. And that's for our missed approach. Look at that cloud. That doesn't look fun. And I think we might actually be going right into it. Or potentially not, we'll see. I think we need some drag here. There is going to be a decel here because it takes us down to 190. Yeah, I think it's ATC is a little bit stuck. Singapore approach, Singapore in 103, request cleared ILS 02 center. Yeah, we're high, as you can see.
Singapore 103, cleared for ILS approach runway 02 center at Singapore Changi Airport.
Cleared ILS 02 center, Singapore in 103. Alright. Platform, we'll go down 3,000.
I hear you. 1 sec, maintain VFR.
Yeah, same tension and just being weird at the minute.
Singapore
Nevertheless,
103,
I'm sure we'll be
cleared for
fine.
ILS approach runway 02 center at Singapore Changi Airport.
Cleared for the ILS 02 center, Singapore in 103. Alright, let's get down. And what we'll do is we'll actually go flaps 1, that should help. Sync the heading. And we do need to go down to 190.
Singapore 103, radar contact, 12 miles southeast of Palau Sudong Military Airstrip at 7,000 feet. Western Islands QNH 1007, cleared direct ABVIP.
I really don't know what it's talking about. We don't have a ABVIP. But anyway, let's continue our descent. Hopefully on our next flight. I think there's something about Singapore that it just screws up with the ATC. I don't know why. It did it on my test sector and it's doing it now. Get lights. Engine starts. And we'll get flaps 5 out. That should give us some drag. Hopefully we can get down in time. And we'll sync our heading again. There it is. We are very high. Why is it surely that's not correct. We should not be ascending by any means.
Singapore 967, contact Singapore Tower on 118.25.
Yeah, we'll switch to tower now. And I think we're gonna orbit here. I think we are way too high, so let's orbit. We'll sync the speed there with a bug. Yeah, ATC left is very high. That's fine. That's fine, we'll do this little orbit here. This is Master Flight Sim 2020, Roy. Master Flight Sim 2020. Keep it going round. Alright, yeah, hopefully ATC is a little bit better on the test, on the, on the flight back to Kuala Lumpur. They have not been behaving at the moment. That's the glide slope, so we're now below the glide slope, which is good. That means we can arm the approach, continue this orbit all the way around, And look at that, we might just come up perfectly on that ILS. I'll leave the heading there for now. I think it's, yeah, we got VOR lock. So we'll resync the heading then. No, I'm using same tensions at the minute. Right, there's the descent on the glide slope. Localizer's coming in. And we'll go flaps 15. And get down. Go around altitude 3000 is set. Singapore Tower, Singapore in 103, established ILS 02 center.
Singapore 103, hang Nadim Tower. Roger. Continue ILS approach runway 02 center at Singapore Changi Airport.
Continue approach Singapore 103. Alright. Alright, we'll arm at the speed brakes. Alright, looking good. So missed approach altitude is set. Go flaps 25. And flaps 30. Hopefully that should help us get slowed down. Looks like it's not going to, so we'll dump some speed brake. And we'll disengage the auto throttle. Looks like we're slowing down now.
1000.
Alright. Alright, my aircraft.
Approaching 02 center.
The winds are changing quite a lot.
$400. Approaching minimums. Minimums 200.
Alright, continue.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
There it is. Speed brakes. Reverses. Fly the nose wheel down. Look at those beautiful runway textures. Beautiful. Alright, manual braking. We'll take this next exit here. I forgot to start Sky Dolly, so no replay unfortunately, but we'll get a replay for our landing in Kuala Lumpur. And yeah, Sane Tensions is completely broken for this flight, so I will shut that down for now, and we'll just taxi to one of these gates. Alright. There we are. Alright, so a little bit of stuttering there on finding approach, but nothing too bad. Actually, let's go over there. We'll head to one of these gates. Look at GSX. Thank you guys. Sorry, we completely forgot the replay there. So we'll go Echo. Echo 4 will work. Right in front of us. Good. And lights off. Alright. Alright, and we'll stop there. Good, alright. APU is on the bus. We'll shut the engines down. There go the engines. Yeah, very fast taxi. Just because I want to get back up in the air quickly. We parked askew? I don't think so. The Maestro did stop us very early though. Probably because there's no GSX profile at the minute. But anyway, anti-collision light can go off. And the rest is fine. So, let's start our second flight then. So, on Vatex, we can go to flight Singapore 103. So it's a flight we've just done into our orbit. Actually, a pretty good orbit. Look at that. So yes, this is saying minus 128 feet per minute, 142 knots, 1.09 Gs. We go show statistics. Fuel burn only 2 tons, and we saved 9 kilos. Alright, so let me get a sim brief up. Right. So, let's see. Let me get the flight number that we should be flying. Oops. Right. Oh, why is that so laggy? I have no idea why it's so laggy. Come on. Actually, we'll just do. And more. And a little insight into how I do find my routes here. So if you go to routes here, and we can see Singapore to WMKK here. So Kuala Lumpur. You can see all the flights. So is there there is a Singapore Airlines flight in the 7M8, which is the 737 MAX, which is SQ114, and Singapore Airlines is SIA for the call sign. So SIA 114, Singapore to Kuala Lumpur. And go 737 MAX, so 738M. And that is some interesting routing. That's a bit better, we'll take that. Okay, so that's done. So, let's start the new flight on Vatex. We'll just get stuff set up here. So that's done. Let me bring up the new flight on Volanta, so we can import. And here we can see Singapore to WMKK. Approach. Let's have a look. This ILS looks good to me. And so, quick briefing then. We are here at Singapore. We're going to depart runway 20 center, although I think that's going to get changed again because we just arrived on 02 center. So we're not going to depart the opposite way. On the Mass 5 Bravo, although that might change most likely. And then we're going to be inbound on the Gupta to Juliet. Arrival for the ILS 32 right into Kuala Lumpur. So let's get going again. What we'll do is we'll get, let's see if Say Intentions decides to play ball with us. In the meantime, let's go to weight and balance. Okay, and we'll get our weight and balance done. So, we have, for this flight, we are taking 100 and, oh, this is 187, but I don't think we can do 187. Yeah, we'll take the max 178. I think there's a, the sim brief profile for the 737 MAX isn't particularly good. It doesn't look like. Cargo is 4.6, that's 2.3. On either, no, that's way too much. 2300. 2300. Alright. So, and then fuel is 4.4. 4404. Our taxi, oh, we might be above maximum takeoff weight here. Let's see. Taxi out fuel is 191. Trip 1725. Yeah, so no, we're fine. We're good. So we'll set the fuel, set the payload, complete. Okay, so we now have fuel and passengers on board. Let's get our IFR clearance. So we'll tune Singapore clearance then. Actually, we need to get the ATIS first, don't we? So 1286. Let's tune that.
Two center, 02 left, 02 right. Departing runways 02 center, 02 left. Advise on initial contact, you have information Delta.
So information Delta, and yeah, they're gonna change our runway, I'm pretty sure here. I don't know why Say Intentions, sorry, I don't know why SimBrief keeps giving me runways with a tailwind, but there you go. Right. What was the clearance frequency? Singapore delivery 12165. Okay. And what position are we at? We are at Echo 4. Singapore clearance, Singaporean 114. Stand Echo 4 information Delta on board. Aircraft type Boeing 737 MAX 8. Requesting iFly clearance to Kuala Lumpur, please. So we should have a pretty quick turnaround here.
Clearance. Give me just a minute.
Alright. And we didn't really use much brakes on the arrival, so we should be fine in that regard as well.
Singapore 114, information Delta is current. Cleared to Kuala Lumpur via the MASB 3 Echo departure. That is filed. Departure runway 2 left. initial climb to 4,000 feet, departure on 124.05, squawk 4211.
Clear to Kuala Lumpur via the Mass Bravo 3 Echo departure. Then as filed, departure runway 2 left, initial climb 4,000 foot. Departure on 124.05, squawk 4211, Singaporean 114. Alright, there's our clearance then. We do need to switch the runway here. So we are now 02 left. We'll be on this one, which is what we got cleared.
114, read back correct. Contact ground on 120.905 when ready.
120.905, Singaporean 114. Alright, so here's our little briefing. A shorter taxi to the runway this time. So departing runway 02 left on the Mass 3 Echo departure. Flying across the coast, but this time landside. And then we'll be on the Gupt to Juliet arrival for the ILS 32 right into Kuala Lumpur. And I'm hoping we can take one of these exits here, possibly Alpha 5, so we have a short taxi back. But yeah, it looks good. So, the clearance then. Clearance was Mass 3 Echo, initial climb 4,000. Really liking how the sim's looking at the minute. It's a little bit stuttering because I'm really limited on VRAM. So 2 left, initial climb 4,000, departure 124.05. So let's put that in. 124.05. 2405 is ready for later. Squawking 4211. Good. Alright. We don't need to run the checks again. So here we can just go index. Index. Position. We're at WMKK. No, we're not. We're at W. Whiskey Sierra Sierra Sierra. Right, Echo 4. Hey, HG Sim, welcome. How's it going, my friend? I'm glad you got a copy of KDAL. Very happy to see that. Just request a flight plan here. We'll load that from SimBrief. And there it is. So we'll activate that. We're on runway 02 left. We are Singapore 114. So our flight number. Departure 02 left on the Mass 3 Bravo Echo. And then we're arriving at runway 32 right, so that'll be the ILS 32 right on the Gupt to Juliet. And Saudi transition. So we'll check for discos, and that looks good. No worries, HG Sim. No worries at all. Right, so we are cruising. Flight level 240. Cruise wind is 091 at 006. ISA is 17. The ISA deviation. Reserve 1.9. And there's our zero fuel weights. Perfect. We are on AP, good. And we'll go takeoff performance then. Copy FMC data. And this all is fine. So we'll calculate that. That gives us 83. Selected tempo 49. So that gives us a M1 of 83. So that's close enough. I think we can put 83 in here. Oh no, we can't. Okay, never mind. That's fine. Flaps 5. I'm looking at 384051. So we can confirm those. And we'll get the trim set, which it does automatically. After I'd moved it back to. Right. The departure runway heading is 023. So perfect. That's already set. And just taking a look at this departure here. Oh, that's the wrong departure. Oh no, it's not. So departing 023. Why can't I drag? There it is. So 023 must be above 2000 by MOVO. And then above 7000 at Acoma and 11,000 at Agva. Transition altitude is 11,000. So Masbo 3 Echo 02 left. So 2 MOVO on course 023 at or above 2000. Turn left to Atrium to Acoma at or above 7000. Left to Agva at or above 11,000 to Sabka. Turn right Masbo. So that all makes sense. And we don't really need to utilize any VORs here. So looks good to me. So pre-flight is complete. We can put all this in the FMC. So V2 is 151, heading 023 is fine, and we got cleared to 4000 initially. So flight directors can come on. Oh, we didn't stow our flaps. And alright, I think we're good to go. We have no fuel in the center tank, so just the left and right tanks on today. Cruising at 24,000 and elevation at Kuala Lumpur is 69 foot, so 50 is fine. Good. Alright.
321 requesting IFR departure to Phuket.
So let's get GSX going. Prepare for push. And we'll get the let's contact ground and get our pushback clearance.
Heavy information Golf. Stand Alpha 11. Request time for clearance to ambulance.
And ground was 12095. And just so we're ahead of the curve here, the tower frequency is 116. Sorry, 1186.
We are ready for pushback.
Okay, good. Singapore ground, Singaporean 114 at stand Echo 4. Request push and start.
Singapore 114, push and start approved, base south.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Alright. So, let's take a look at TaiModels Singapore before I forget. Alright. So, as you can see, and as you've already seen, the ground textures are really, really nice. As far as I can tell, it is mostly accurate. I'm not familiar with the real airport, real life, of course. But you know, comparing to the charts on Navigraph, it looks pretty accurate to me. Only very minor differences which the developer is aware of. But yeah, it looks very, very good. Performance is actually pretty decent for me as well, considering my VRAM limitation. But what I really wanted to show you here is the dome here, because it is really, really cool. So we'll wait here. Now I can't remember what this is called in real life. Yes, HG Sim. This is coming to X-Plane 12 as well, as far as I know. But yeah, look at this. Now normally I'm not too bothered by terminals, but this looks very good in my opinion. Really, really nice. You got the waterfall. You got the indoor sort of garden. FS Airtail is very loud. But it looks great, and not just that. If we go can see just how good it looks at night as well. I mean, look at that. TaiModels has done a fantastic job with this. It looks really good, and it looks much better, in my opinion, than the CloudSurf variant. Of course, it is more expensive, but it does also look better. So the decision is up to you which one you would like. But night lighting looks very good as well. We can have a bit more of a overview of the entire airport. And of course, it is quite a large airport, major hub for Singapore Airlines, and I think Scoot as well. So yeah, a great airport. Really, really, really good. It would be nice if it had a GSX profile. Now I have a copy sent directly, so maybe the purchase version has a GSX profile. But yeah, it does. It works really nice, as far as I can tell. The VDGS doesn't work for me for some reason, so I will contact the dev about that. But look at the detail here. Look at this. This is all true to life as far as I can tell. Looks very good. FSLTL is so loud. I really wish the volume on that was lower. But yeah, this all looks good to me, in my opinion, and can highly recommend the airport. So let's get on with our pushback. Continue pushback. Did we get our pushback clearance? Oh yeah, we did. Push and start approved, face south, Singapore 114. Alright.
408, pushback approved, face southeast.
So, push approved, face south. So we'll go nose right. And anti-collision light is on. Alright, good to go. Release a parking brake.
All engines clear.
Yeah, it's a really good airport, as you can see. And comparing performance to CloudSurf, because I did do a comparison, it's about the same. Personally, TaiModels is always pretty good on performance. So yeah, it looks good. While we're pushing here, let's just show this terminal a little bit more here. As you can see, not too bad at all. Not the most detailed in Microsoft Flight Sim, but in my opinion, detailed enough. You know, at the end of the day, performance is in mind here as well. So yeah, looks pretty decent to me. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and start the engines then. So, packs off, and we'll start number 1 first. No worries, Stan. Thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate your help today. Have a great rest of the day. Alright, so engine 1 is spooling, is motoring. And as soon as it finishes motoring, we can add the fuel. May take a little bit longer because now we're on the second sector, so it will need to motor for a little bit longer. And we'll give them the good engine start. We can't at the minute, alright. As you can see, it's taking much longer to motor. Much longer. But that is because it's the second sector. So I believe it's to do with the M1 and M2 shafts having to cool or something like that. Right, cabin's ready for departure. Jeez, motoring taking a long time. Come on.
Initial climb 4,000 feet, departure on 124.05, squawk 6542 with information, Victor QF3.
Yep, a long motor. There it goes. And we'll add the fuel. Alright. Sim is looking really good though. So yeah, the stutters are just because I am limited slightly by my VRAM, but you know, if you have more than 8 gig, you should be good to go.
Singapore 964, push and start approved. Base southeast.
Love the sounds on the iFly. And we'll let that stabilize. Lovely. Start number 2. And we should be able to give them the
Cockpit to
heads up
ground.
now. There we
We have a
are.
good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
And that's gonna motor, it'll take a while. I do like the realism there. It takes longer to motor. On the second sector, that makes sense. Based on information from Flight Deck 2 Sim. And while that motor's just looking at our taxi here, I think we're gonna expect Romeo 2, Romeo 3, Tango. And then Romeo to the threshold is what I'm expecting for the taxi here. We might single engine taxi this one. This is going to take a while to motor, but we'll see. We can't go until these guys are free anyway, so
Left is clear, right is clear.
I think there's a maximum of 3 minutes motoring and then you close the starter valve. We should have used a chrono for that, but we didn't. It's fine. We'll set flaps 5 in the meantime. There it goes. We'll add the fuel in. Alright. Good. Yeah, look at the ground texture, super crisp. Of course, I have my settings on about medium as well, so you know, if you have a beefy PC and you can turn your settings up, this will look even better. But yeah, it looks great, in my opinion. The texture work is just fantastic. Alright, let's get our taxi clearance then. Singapore ground, Singaporean 114, request taxi runway 02 left. Could start on both engines.
Singapore 114, taxi to runway 20 left via Romeo 1, Echo Papa, Juliet, Bravo, Bravo 2, Alpha, Alpha 1.
Taxi to runway 02 left via Romeo 1, Echo Papa, Juliet, Bravo, Bravo 2, Alpha 1, Singapore 114. Alright. Let's go ahead. And taxi. So we're gonna make a right here. Beautiful. If you're enjoying the stream, do go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Of course, if you have any suggestions or feedback, do put them in the chat or in the suggestion channel on my Discord. Yeah, fun 2 sectors today in Microsoft Flight Sim. Beautiful. You can see all these patches on the taxiway here. Super high quality. And you can really fly anything into here. Pretty much almost every long haul carrier will fly here, especially from the US, Europe, Australia, Middle East, Asia. You know, it's in range of a lot of various airports around the world. I think really, with the exception of maybe Central America. Or sorry, I should say Central North America, so talking Denver and such. Because I think you can get here from SFO and you can get here from JFK. Right, look at the bridge here. Alright, we'll see what this bridge is like, how the mesh work is. Looks good so far. Reset the clock. Now we'll get that going again for our second flight. Alright, looks good so far with the bridge. I'm pretty sure this looks fairly realistic. Again, not overly familiar with the real airport, so can't confirm too much. That might be a little steep potentially, but again, I'm not too sure. This looks very cool though. I'm not sure why they made the taxiway a bridge rather than making the road a bridge. I would have thought that making a road the bridge would be easier. But yeah, not too bad. Pretty much taxiing straight ahead here. Let's step on the brakes a little bit. There we are. As I said, beautiful sounds from the iFly. We'll start FS realistic again. Turned it off earlier. Alright, and here we are at the runway. Hit a quick recall. Zero to left, we'll stop here. And contact tower. So, just to be sure, tower frequency is 1186, and then we'll put a departure frequency in here, 124050. Right. Singapore Tower, Singapore in 114, holding short runway 02 at the left, fully ready. And we'll get TCAS on TRA.
Singapore 114, Singapore Tower, runway 20 left, winds 350 at 4, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 02 left, Singapore in 114. Alright.
All aircraft information, Yankee is now current, QNH 1008.
And landing lights are on, we'll get the strobes on. And we are good to go. Takeoff config, why? Flaps 5, and we have flaps 5 set.
02 left.
Everything up here looks okay. Not sure what the config warning is for. Beautiful runway touches.
On runway 02 left.
Alright. What is the config warning for? Auto brakes RTO, we have V speeds are all set, that's good to go. Flap 5. gonna reset my flaps here. Gear is down. Lights on, APU off. Yeah, we should be good to go here. No. They make the bridge because they can. What is that config for? Speed brake maybe? It was. Okay, alright, glad we got that sorted. But we are good for takeoff now. So, let's pull them up 40%. Look at this. Just look good. 40% stable toga. We are 83.1 is set. Indications normal. 80 knots. Should probably set on that V now, shouldn't we? So that doesn't want to work anymore. V1, rotate. Nice smooth rotation. Positive rate gear up. There's our nav. Lovely. Beautiful departure. Singapore is beautiful.
Contact departure.
Contact departure, Singapore 114. Alright, and we go to departure. Singapore 114, climbing altitude 2004, 4000.
FedEx 5601, climb plane level 240. Singapore 114, Singapore departure, radar contact, climb via the SID, climb via the SID.
Climb via the SID, Singapore 114. Okay, not sure why they repeated that. Like I said, I think ATC at Singapore is a little bit strange, unfortunately, on their say intentions. So it says climb via the SID, and we don't have any top level restrictions, so we can go all the way up to cruise, which was 240. Flaps can go up now. 240. Alright, good. And I think we'll hand fly it a little bit. Just looks very good. Beautiful, a very clean wing for a new 737 MAX. Start that turn shortly. There it is. Follow the flight directors.
Royal Dutch Airlines 107, climb flight level 270. Flight level 270, okay, and then 107.
Lovely. Flight is very nice. Once we level out here, we'll carry out the after takeoff checks. Nice and butter smooth up here. 60 or well 54 roughly FPS native, 157-ish with lossless. Alright, let's go autopilot on. And after takeoff checks then, flaps are up, landing gear is up, auto brake off. Runway turn off, taxi lights can go off, engine start switch is back to off. Everything else looks good. Alright, and we have cabin pressure is rising. Perfect. On the way back to Kuala Lumpur. Now we'll get the landing lights off.
Contact Singapore Tower on 118.25.
Brilliant, there we are. It does look good.
Maintaining 8,000 feet direct to Akima.
Clear again. We are now above the Snake altitude, and I'm pleased to inform you that the use of electronic devices...
There goes the announcement.
You can also enjoy our onboard Wi-Fi service during the flight. If you need anything, feel free to ask our crew. Thank you.
So, like I said, we'll be back in Microsoft Flight Sim most likely next stream, either tomorrow or Wednesday. Do let me know what you want me to fly.
Singapore 114, climb flight level 240.
Climb flight level 240, Singapore 114. Right. They already cleared us for that. Yeah, looking good so far.
Singapore 31, contact Singapore Tower on 118.25.
There's videos here you can actually see. Pretty cool. There's charts as well, so you can go use the airport from FMS. And then
Singapore 114, contact Lumpur radar on 132.75.
Lumpur radar 132.75, Singapore 114. Alright, let's contact them. 132.75. Lumpur radar, Singapore 114, climbing flight level 149 for flight level 240.
Singapore 114, Lumpur radar identified. Good morning.
What were the options? So we can fly this, the iFly 737 MAX, the PMDG 737-800, PMDG 777, that's a 300 ER, the Phoenix, any of the Phoenix aircraft, the Builds A300, Horizon Sim 787, Salty 747, any of those really. Singapore out there. Beautiful. Yeah, hopefully we get X-Plane Beta 6 fairly soon. Almost at our cruise altitude. Weather at the moment is VFR, minimum VFR at the minute, in Kuala Lumpur. So we got winds are variable at 2, so pretty much no winds. Visibility 8 kilometers. View at 1,000, temperature 24 degrees, dew point 24. So the dew point is the same as the temperature here, and this can lead to fog or haze. So visibility is 8 kilometers, so it's not too bad, but that's the reason for that. QNH 1006 and then no sig, so looks okay, it's just slightly low cloud. But it shouldn't be a problem. Good stuff. Here we are at cruise. Very close to our top of descent. Look at this. Only 40 nautical miles. We have a nice tailwind. Actually, not much. Only 9-10 knots at this altitude.
114, Lumpur radar. Expect the GUPS 1 Golf arrival. I'll start your descent in about 10 minutes. Feel free to ask if you'd like it sooner. Clear direct KK 802.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached cruising.
Expect the GUPS 1 Golf arrival, and we'll start descent in about 10 minutes. Clear to direct Kilo 802, Singapore 114. Alright, that's a different star than what we were initially given. Kilo 802. Yeah, we don't have a Kilo 802, so we'll ignore that direct to instruction. That was a bit strange. But they want us ILS 3 to right on the GUPS 1 Golf. So we'll switch, I guess. Yeah, the GUPS 1 Golf doesn't really match up with the ILS. So let me see if I can request to stay on the current star. Lumpur radar, Singapore 114. Can we stay on the GUPS to Juliet arrival, please? Not sure why Say Intentions is being weird today. It's giving me strange routing.
Approved. You are now on the GUPS 1 Juliet arrival.
Negative. Requested GUPS 2 Juliet arrival. Singapore 114.
Singapore 114, roger. You are on the GUPS 1 Juliet arrival.
Yeah, it's been weird. Don't worry me. We're not going to change the star because this one makes sense. If it continues to be an issue, we'll probably just close Say Intentions. It seems like this area it just doesn't seem to like, or maybe there's issues at the moment with the server or something. Yeah, let's look at the arrival then. So the ILS frequency is going to be 1091. And is there VOR we can tune? There is 1161. Alright. And then we can go, course is 326. Would love to see 787. Brilliant, we can do that. 326. Right, so 326 is set. Let's get a fix in then. So for runway 32 right, we want 326 minus 180, so that's 026, 046. 046 at 10. Should work. That's completely wrong. It's 146, isn't it? At 10. That's better. And then missed approach is climb 5,500, track 326 at D4.9 VKL, and right, track 340. After passing 2,000, turn right to Akuri. So it looks like missed approach is 340 at 4.9. Okay. So we'll put in distance 5 then for that. So at VKL. Yeah, I'm gonna close the intentions because I think it's broken at the minute. So first altitude we have would be go up to at or below flight level 230. But then by Nugla here, we need to be above 11,000, so we'll set 11,000. That works just fine. So VKL, Kuala Lumpur VOR. We can put a radio of so it says 340. Oh, so it's track 340 outbound, so we want to minus 180 from that. So that's 14160.5, and that will give us our missed approach track. Perfect, love it. Minimums is 300 for the ILS. So let's set that. And it will take a long time. I wish they made this quicker. Yeah, so we can do a 787. We'll do the Horizon Sim 787 tomorrow. I'll have to think of a nice short route for it. And Barrow 300 for the minimums is set. Lovely. We'll do. Looks like it wants a bit of drag. And performance then. So landing performance. Copy FMC data. Condition is dry. It's not raining according to the meta. Dry. Wind is variable at 2, so we'll leave that as it is. Temperature is 24 degrees. QNH is 1006. Top 30, aircon on, anti-ice off, brakes on. Should work just fine for us. Lovely. And we are still fast, so we're going to go full speed brake. And if we open a blind, you can see the speed brake there. Lovely. Good. Nice. So yeah, we are nicely set up here for the approach. Missed approach altitude is seems like it's after passing 2,000, climb 5,500 right? If you fly ANA or Japan Airline, you can fly RJTT, RJCH. How long is that flight roughly? Some crash flight. That sounds good. We can definitely do that. See if we can find some good scenery for those airports as well before tomorrow, or whenever we decide to stream. So it's here to RJCH. Yeah, aircraft does not want to slow down. Alright, we can go local QNH, which was 1006. And the next restriction is Saudi 6,000. So we can go all the way down to 6,000. Yeah, so the 787s fly on that ANA flight. Looks like it's about an hour. That would be perfect sim flight. So we'll do that. We'll do Hakodate, Tokyo to Hakodate, and we'll do either RJTT or RJAA, probably depending on what scenery I can find for both of them. But yeah, thank you for that. We'll do that for our next stream. That looks pretty good. So then once we're past Saudi, we can go down to 4,500. can see our runway radio there. Might actually be off. No. Runway radio. No, it's correct, 146. I do it real life, so I know it's like, oh right, that's really cool. Did you do RJTT or RJAA? Tokyo is beautiful. So 6,000, and then once we're past Sildi, we can go down to 4,500. Oh yeah, this is a missed approach radio. And yeah, we can go down to 4,500 now. Perfect, and we're at the up speed. Good, alright, we've got a while to go, we're still a little bit far out. RJTT, alright, we'll try and do that then. I'll try and find some good scenery for it. I do like flying in, also the speed break. Willamette, in fact. Yeah, I do like flying to Tokyo. I'm really looking forward to Axonus releasing their RJTT for X-Plane 12. That should be really good. I need to change that radio to 340. It's better. More accurate. And yeah, so we have ILS 109.1 there. We'll wait to intercept it. But hey, looks beautiful at the minute. And looks like we're descending now, potentially. There it is, DME 24 miles away, IER is the correct identifier. Brilliant. I'm just going to sync the heading. 325. Actually, the heading afterwards is track 326. Yeah, so it's 326 for the missed approach. Here we are. And it looks like we'll start our descent about there. We won't go flaps 1 just yet. We have time till 20 miles out. A lot of fun in this iFly 737 MAX. A great aircraft to fly. Look at that. How beautiful. And oh, sky dolly, we can get that going. Looks like we're below the glide shot now, so we'll level change that down to, says the platform is 4,500, but that's fine, we'll sort this out. I'm just going to put a quick fix in on here. for a bit of situational awareness. And yeah, we'll need to expedite that. I'm just gonna get us down a bit lower. Go flaps 1 as well. Descend here. We'll go lock for this minute. So we'll get the low clouds, and then once we're below the glide slope, we'll intercept the glide slope. Lights on, start switch is to continuous. Alright, we're getting there. Got ourselves a little bit high, we're 10 miles out. Alright, we'll go flaps 5. Alright, there it is, below the glide slope, on the approach. There we are, VOR glide slope.
2,500.
That's the wrong one. IAS. Very fast here, we've got gear down early I think. What's the speed limit for flap 15? 200, alright. As soon as we're below 200 we'll get flap 15 out. There's flap 15. And we'll bug flap 15. Go around altitude 5,500. And we'll bug VREF now. There it is. Flap 25. Stow the speed brake. Alright, we saved that one. Up 30. Alright guys, let me get a sky dolly up. Hopefully in time. Okay, and we'll hit record. Alright, so we have replay going. Let's disconnect the auto throttle. And my controls.
$1,000.
Bit fast. Looking good here. We're slightly off the localizer, but we can correct.
Approaching. 3, 2, right.
Alright, yeah, this one has to be a good one because we're gonna watch the replay. Disregard the pappies, they are always wrong in Microsoft Flight Sim. Actually, they're not too bad here.
300.
Looking good.
200. Approaching minimums. Minimums. 100.
Continue.
50. 40. 30, 20, 10.
Hold that attitude, hold that attitude. Get it down before in the touchdown zone. Just. That was a floater. Fly the nose wheel down, full reverse. Fly that nose wheel down nice and slow. Brilliant, there we are. Welcome to Kuala Lumpur. You know what, we can actually take this high speed, I reckon. Slam the brakes a little bit. Alright, great job. Really happy with that. Let me pause the recording for Sky Dolly. And we'll clean up the aircraft here. Flaps up. Flight directors off. Thank you very much, HD Sim. That was a lot of fun. Look nice, 2 sectors. We'll get the transponder off. That's fine. Alright, and we'll taxi back to the gate. No same tension because it was playing up. I don't know why. It works really well off stream, and then on stream it just I don't know what it does. It doesn't like being on stream, I guess. It has stage fright. Good, and yeah, so we can watch that landing once we park up here. Pretty happy with that one. It was a floater, but just about in the touchdown zone. Back here at Kuala Lumpur. Not flown this iFly 737 MAX in a while. Since probably last October when it released. I hadn't flown it since. So yeah, I've flown 3 sectors with it today. So much fun. Really is a beautiful aircraft. Let's pick a terminal here. Shall we go off here to the right? Let's check out a different terminal this time. Why not? Looks pretty cool. So this is Bravo. And we'll do Bravo 4, I think. She's just over there. Good, alright. And we'll go Air Asia, that's fine. Lovely. For Freeway Airport, this is actually not bad at all. Cannot complain about this for Freeway Airport. So, Bravo 4, just up here. As we approach, we'll get the lights off. Weather radar, terrain radar. Oh, it wasn't on anyway, right? Bravo 6. Bravo 4 right, Bravo 4. There's the marshaller waiting for us. Oh, what a beautiful turn-in. There's a gate in the way, it looks like, but that's fine. As long as we don't hit it. I might stop short here. Alright. So they told us to stop there. Parking brake is on. APU gen, APU bleed. Alright, and the engines can go off. Fantastic. So, let me end the flight on Elevatex. Elevatex says for that flight, landing rate of... name is just DrishalMAC2, if you did want to add me on here. But landing rate of 105 feet per minute, ground speed 137, G-force 1.01, so can't complain about that. Look at our vacate. Vacated early. We did a good job there, I think. So we'll close all this down. Right, so let's set flaps 30 again, and we'll just get all our lights on for the replay so it looks as good as possible. There we are. And we'll wait for those flaps to extend, and then we can run the replay and take a look at the landing. Just let them run here. Sky Dolly works really well, by the way. It's got nice UI as well, as you can see. So you can see a couple of flights from earlier. And then I think this must be the most recent one. Yeah. So yeah, really nice, really good for replays. Come on, these flaps taking their sweet time. Oh, it's because the hydraulics aren't pressurized, isn't it? Most likely. Maybe we should just leave the flaps for replays. You know what, we'll just run the replay now. There it goes.
$400.
Looks like the flaps are actually extending as well. Yeah, the flaps are extending in replay. Good. Alright, well, let's take a look at this landing then. We'll take a look at a few different angles, hopefully, before we end tonight's stream. Great looking aircraft. I do like the way 737s look. Oh, look at that. Just held it off a couple of feet above the runway. Yeah, just in the touchdown zone. Yeah, can't complain about that. And then nose came down real nice. Oh yes, beautiful. Cannot complain about that at all. Right, let's get a nice view going here. Right. Hopefully this should give us a nice flyby. Okay. We need chase plane is what we need. Okay, that should do us just fine, hopefully. And we can enable head tracking. Cool. This might potentially be too much zoom. Oh, yes. Definitely too much zoom. We'll watch it one more time. From a bit closer, I think. Alright, that should do. Alright, well. Right, let's... Alright, well, that's going to do it for today's stream then. If I end this now, it will just stick the aircraft on the runway. But yeah, that's going to be the end of today's stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully we got to see a good amount of TaiModels Singapore airport, and hopefully you did like it. So we'll be back in the 787 in Japan next time. Thank you to SimCraftFly for that suggestion. Thank you to everyone who has been here. And I will see you in the next one.